Emma Clarke pressed her back against the chilled glass wall of the penthouse, fingers hovering over the laptop's glowing screen. One click and Kael Duvant's billion-dollar empire, the IPO, his reputation would collapse before sunrise. The city glittered below, indifferent, while her chest pounded against ribs that suddenly felt too small. "Do it," Kael's voice cut through the silence, low and lethal. "Destroy me." Her stomach lurched. She turned. Kael stood in the doorway, half-unbuttoned tuxedo, black hair falling just over his brow, eyes like darkened steel, calm yet dangerous. Manhattan sparkled behind him, oblivious to the tension in this room. "You lied to me," she whispered. "I told you the truth from the start," he said, voice even, measured. "You just forgot." Her fingers shook. 6 months of chaos, manipulation, and feeling things she hadn't expected. The past 3 hours replayed like a cruel montage. Earlier that morning, she had been fired. "Security will escort you out, Ms. Clarke," the hotel manager said, cold as the January wind. Emma clutched her cardboard box, heels clicking against marble floors, whispers trailing her like ghosts. Rejection emails pinged her phone. Rent overdue. $243 left in the bank. The wind outside cut through her coat like knives. Then the text appeared, 6 months. $1 million interested, her breath caught. Scam, definitely. But desperation blurs lines. She typed one word, yes. By 5:58 a.m., a black Bentley rolled silently to her building. The driver didn't speak, didn't ask her name, only opened the door. Emma hesitated, then slid inside. The city climbed past her window. Glass towers, historic neighborhoods, old money giving way to new ambition. The car stopped. She looked up. Duvant Industries. Letters glinting like a warning. A woman in charcoal guided her silently to the elevator. Face like stone. Doors closed, taking her higher. The penthouse doors opened. Kael Duvant stood there tall. Elegant, dangerous, magnetic, 32, self-made billionaire, untouchable. "You're perfect," he said, voice measured. Not a compliment, observation. "For what?" "For saving my reputation." He slid a folder across the glass desk. Photos of a smiling blonde woman. Diamond rings glinting under flashbulbs. Headlines, Duvant engaged. Emma traced the edge of the folder, stomach twisting. "You want me to pretend?" "Exactly. 6 months. Walk away with $1 million, or more if you negotiate." Her eyes flicked to the empty fridge, eviction notice, unpaid bills. $1.5 million, she said. Kael arched a brow. Deal. The first gala hit like a hurricane. Crystal chandeliers, gold accents, flashbulbs firing like gunshots. Kael's hand pressed briefly to her back, guiding her. "Smile," he murmured. Emma forced the grin. Across the room, Vanessa stood in white silk, predator eyes gleaming. Emma's stomach dropped. Vanessa's smile was sharp, calculated, venomous. Weeks passed in rehearsed smiles, champagne glasses, whispered instructions. Every step, every word, every laugh measured for the cameras. But behind the act, Kael was human. Cold in public, but behind closed doors, tired, broken, complicated. "Why do you work like this?" Emma asked one night, voice barely above the hum of the city below. He stared out at the skyline, jaw tight. "If I stop, I start remembering." "Remember what?" "My sister," he whispered. "Died when I was 15. My parents couldn't save her. I swore I'd never be powerless again." Emma reached for his hand. He didn't pull away, not yet. Then the blackmail began, emails, screenshots, threats escalating in urgency. Kael's hands clenched on the desk, jaw tight. Emma's stomach twisted with each new demand. "Someone close is behind this," he said bitterly. "Always. Not everyone," Emma whispered. He looked at her, a flicker of softness in his eyes. "Except you, maybe." One night, Emma found a folder on his desk. Contract termination protocol, Clarke. Her chest froze. Every late-night conversation, every shared laugh, every kiss, they had been scripted. Calculated. Tears prickled her eyes. She left before he could see IPO week arrived. Reporters swarmed the penthouse, cameras relentless, flashing like a storm. Kael moved through them with the precision of a predator. Emma's pulse matched the chaos. Later, in the private office, he whispered, "Marry me." Her hand flew to her mouth. "What?" "Legally married before the expose drops. Then it ends, 2 million instead of 1. Her stomach flipped. She nodded, swallowing hard. Courthouse. Sterile air. No vows, no rings. Just pen scratching paper. Silence thick as fog. That night, she passed his study. The door was slightly ajar. Kael's voice, "Yes, Marcus. Activate the breakup protocol. She'll be gone after the IPO." Emma froze, her heart shattered. The man she had started to love had been manipulating her all along. But not everything was as it seemed. The morning sun slanted across the skyline, gold streaks across glass towers. Emma stood at the penthouse window, suitcase in hand, staring down at a city that felt both small and infinite. Kael's voice called from behind. "You'll have your payment by noon," he said, tone unreadable. "I don't want it," she whispered, voice trembling. He stepped closer. "Emma, I wanted you," she said quietly, "not your money." Kael froze, then slowly, deliberately, he reached into the fireplace and tossed the contract inside. Flames consumed it, smoke curling into the room like a signal. No more clauses, no more lies. "Stay, please." Emma's chest tightened. She stared at the ashes, then at him. "I'll stay, but not because of money. Because I believe in you, in us." Kael's lips curved into a faint, real smile. "Then let's find out." Later that day, a final blackmail email landed. Subject, "Everything revealed." Emma's fingers hovered over the mouse, heart hammering. Vanessa's name flashed across the screen. Kael's hand brushed hers. "Go slow. Let's see who's really behind this." Together they traced the emails, metadata, IP logs, timestamps. Each click tightened the suspense, revealing subtle anomalies, delays, reroutes, patterns inconsistent with Vanessa's known access. Emma froze. "Kael, these aren't from her. Or you, someone else is using her name." Kael's eyes narrowed. "Marcus, his head of security. He's been orchestrating this from the shadows. All the leaks, the blackmail, the contracts, it's him. Trying to destroy me, and you." Emma gasped. Betrayal had layers. The person she feared most was not the glamorous rival or even Kael's calculated schemes. It was the man meant to protect them. That night they confronted Marcus in Kael's office. Floor-to-ceiling windows reflected city lights and tension. Marcus's smug smile faltered when Kael stepped forward. "You," Kael said, voice calm but lethal. "You've been playing all sides." "I did what I had to," Marcus sneered. "You were too trusting, she's too naive. And the IPO? Priceless leverage." Emma's eyes blazed. "You used us, me, to cover your greed. Do you even understand what that means?" Marcus shrugged. "Business is war, and you're collateral." Kael advanced, hands steady but deadly. "Not anymore, a phone call." Evidence uploaded, police sirens in the distance. Marcus's empire of manipulation crumbled before his eyes. With the threat neutralized, Emma and Kael faced each other. The city outside was a sea of lights, indifferent yet beautiful, echoing the chaos and triumph inside the penthouse. Emma's voice was soft, vulnerable. "Did you love me at any point?" Kael's jaw clenched, silence stretched. Then finally he whispered, "I don't know how, but I do. And you," her eyes filled with tears. "Then learn, I'll stay, Kael. Not because of contracts, not because of money, but because I choose you. Always." He stepped closer. Their hands met, fingers entwined, lips brushed. The kiss was slow, electric, raw. A release of months of tension, fear, desire, and trust. Outside, Manhattan glittered like 1,000 promises. Inside, the storm had passed. Weeks later, the IPO launched without a hitch. Reporters buzzed, cameras flashed. Kael moved with effortless control, but this time Emma stood beside him. Not as a contract, not as collateral, but as a partner. They attended galas, dinners, and press events. Flashbulbs went off, but this time their smiles were real. Every touch, every glance, every whispered word under the chandeliers held authenticity. Vanessa's interference had ended with Marcus exposed. She retreated into the shadows of socialite gossip. The real threat, corporate betrayal, was gone. One evening, high above Manhattan in the penthouse, Emma and Kael sipped champagne, golden light reflecting in crystal flutes. "You ever wonder," Emma asked, tracing the rim, "if feelings really can change everything?" Kael smiled, brushing back a stray strand of hair from her face. "Sometimes they're the only thing that matters." Emma's chest tightened. "And trust?" He held her gaze. "Trust rebuilt is stronger than any contract, any clause, any manipulation. You showed me that." Her hand brushed his cheek. "And you? I want to be worthy of it." Months passed. Headlines changed. Duvant Industries IPO a triumph. Kael Duvant's empire unshaken. The public knew nothing of the blackmail, the betrayal, the whispered confessions, or the quiet victories behind closed doors. Emma and Kael navigated the delicate balance of public image and private reality. Nights were filled with laughter, conversations, whispered arguments, and intimate moments. They learned each other's vulnerabilities, fears, and strengths. One night, standing on the balcony, Emma whispered, "Do you think, can people really change?" Kael's hand found hers, fingers entwining naturally. "Yes, and sometimes I know it takes the right person to make you want to." Emma's heart swelled. "And are you worth trusting?" Kael's smile was small, genuine, the kind that could melt marble. "I want to be." They embraced, the city lights reflecting in their eyes. Chaos, ambition, betrayal, it all felt distant. The only reality was them together. The final twist lingered in their story. Not a contract, not manipulation, not betrayal, but choice. Emma could walk away at any time, but she didn't. Kael could control everything, but not her heart. Yet he earned it through courage, vulnerability, and love. In the penthouse that night, after months of storm and fire, they sealed it with a kiss. A kiss that was no longer a contract or a clause, but a promise. The city hummed below, infinite, indifferent. But inside, Emma and Kael had found their own universe. If your heart raced with Emma and Kael's journey, hit subscribe, like, and comment. Would you have exposed Kael, or chosen to trust love in the end?